Pop! That's the noise I heard one night when I was cheering during my sophomore year of high school. On this particular night, the team was warming up right before volleyball game by doing our normal routine of stretching, jumping, stunting, and kicks. It was while we were doing kicks that I heard this popping noise and I instantly fell to the ground because for some reason my knee gave out. Little did I know that this night would have such an impact on the rest of my life. After many doctor visits and MRIs, I received a phone call one evening with the news that I had torn my anterior cruciate ligament, or ACL. Today I am going to inform you of my experiences of ACL surgery by first telling you what the ACL is, second, how one can tear their ACL, and finally, the treatment necessary to get better. First, let me tell you what the ACL is. There are many ligaments in the body, with a few being inside the knee, such as the ACL. According to Kenneth Saladin in his book called Anatomy and Physiology, a ligament is a cord or band of tough collagenous tissue that bonds one bone to another. Inside the middle of the knee is where the ACL and PCL, posterior cruciate ligament, are found. Each are named according to whether they are anterior or posterior to the tibia bone. The two ligaments cross each other in an X shape to allow for maximum stability. The purpose of the ACL is to allow for movement and rotation of the leg bones. When your knee is extended, your ACL is pulled tight and is hyperextended. The ACL is a simple but very important part of the human body. Next, I will inform you of how the ACL can become injured. When you injure your ACL, it is either strained, partially torn, or completely torn. In my situation, my ACL was strained at first, but because of continuous activity, I ended up completely tearing it. In order to tear your ACL, it involves changing directions quickly on one leg or a twisting movement. In my case, the force of me kicking my leg up in the air put a lot of pressure on my already weakened knee, and my knee twisted. Torn ACLs are very common in sports such as football, basketball, soccer, and gymnastics. These sports endure lots of physical impact, whether it's being hit by another person or tumbling across the floor and landing wrong. Many professional athletes tear their ACLs as well. Robert Griffin III, a football player for the Washington Redskins, tore his ACL while playing against the Seattle Seahawks in the 2012 playoff season. According to an online article by Chris Mortensen on ESPN.com, Griffin's incident occurred while trying to plant his leg as the ball was being snapped and being tackled by an opponent. There are many ways you could tear your ACL. Finally, I will share the treatments for having ACL injury. The common fix for injuring your ACL and the process I went through is having surgery. Surgery is the best option for having a torn ACL because it fully repairs the existing torn one. Doctors can't sew the torn ACL back onto your body because once detached, it's basically dead. So you're given the option to use a tendon from your body or use a cadaver, a dead person. I didn't want to use a cadaver, so what my doctor did was cut a piece of muscle from my quadricep, the leg muscle on your side, and arthroscopically put it in my knee to replace my torn ACL. According to WMD.com, arthroscopic surgery is when small, thin, probe-like instruments are used to navigate within the knee. They have a camera and light on them to allow for visibility. This results in small incisions made instead of having what the next option offers. Open face surgery is another option of surgery which is done by making a large incision over the whole knee. Arthroscopic surgery compared to open face surgery is less painful, has less recovery time, and usually costs less. With me, I have some pictures of the inside of my knee through the use of the arthroscopic instrument. Just to warn you, it might be a little graphic. So the first picture I'm going to show you is the picture my torn ACL, which is right here. And as you can see, the white part right here is the part that is detached from my body, which is basically dead. The next picture I'm going to show you is a lot more graphic. This is my new ACL, the muscle that was surgically removed from my leg. And this is when my leg is hyperextended. So my new ligament is pulled really tight. The worst part of having this surgery for me was the physical rehabilitation, also known as physical therapy. Physical therapy is necessary for strengthening of the surrounding of the muscles of your knee and over time gets you back to normal. Post-surgery, you are required to wear a full leg brace, that is locked at 180 degrees, which as time passes in physical therapy gets locked to about 90 degrees. I was also required to use crutches for about 2 months. With continued visits to physical therapy, the crutches disappear and so does the leg brace. I was in physical therapy for about 4 months, where I worked on coordination, flexibility, endurance, and strengthening of my new ligament. Although it was a very painful process without physical therapy, there was no way I would have been able to get myself back to normal. Tearing your ACL is a tough and long process that is very challenging. I remember being frustrated all the time because I could barely do a simple thing just like walk around without help from other people and my crutches. Going through this experience has taught me how to have perseverance and determination to get back to my normal self. At 16 years old, I never expected to have major reconstructive surgery. I said earlier that this experience has had huge impact on my life, and it has. I no longer take the little things for granted and am very blessed to have recovered from this experience and go back into cheer. There was lots of pain and stress in my life when I was recovering from the surgery, but in the end, I ended up being a stronger and healthier person because of this injury. Today, I have informed you about my experience with ACL surgery by first telling you what the ACL is, next, how you can tear your ACL, and finally, the treatments to repair ACL injury.